Hi Aquarius, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week just checking in on, general, but also love and romance. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Also leave a comment so you can go in the draw for that free personal reading. We'll be running that until Easter. And This week we are using, I've got a few decks here. So we have the Forest Spirits Oracle cards. I'm using that alongside the Seeker's Lenormand to look at the general. When we look at love and romance, I do have the Healing Waters Oracle deck, as well as the Stained Glass Lenormand and the Twin Flame Love Notes. Okay, so getting sort of straight on into it for you, Aquarius. What's going on for Aquarius? What does Aquarius need to know? Aquarius energy, please. Aquarius. You have the nature spirit coming through for you, Aquarius. Divine nature. Your love and wisdom help you overcome your limitations and reach a higher level. Interesting. Love and wisdom help you overcome your limitations. What do you feel as though has been limiting you? I feel like for a lot of you there is a limitation where telling yourself that you've reached the limit of something, that, oh, that's never going to improve, that's never going to get better. But there is actually higher levels here for you. You've just kind of been self-limiting. Clarify the nature spirit energy for Aquarius. Aquarius, nature spirit energy. What does Aquarius need to know? Just clarify that message for Aquarius, please. Clarity, please. What aspect of life is that in regard to for Aquarius? The general wants to be very general for you here, Aquarius. Not going to lie. Okay, so what we're seeing here, firstly, we have the house, the home. Okay, but we do see you coming from that energy, making the choice here. We have the crossroads. So we do see the choice. So currently, your current energy is very no movement. The home is all about stability, security. I feel for a lot of you, this has got to do with your physical home as well. So, maybe being very hermit mode, staying at home kind of energy. And this choice does appear to be coming through the decision to change path here, change tact toward this garden energy. Now, the garden is a very sociable energy, very getting out and about, spending time out of the house kind of energy. So it feels as though a lot of you do feel as though you've reached some sort of a limit with your accessibility to community and friendships, okay? Because when I have asked, what area of your life this has got to do with, we have the key and the dog. So it's kind of opening up to friendships and, opening yourself up to, meeting new friends, having more loyalty, understanding, companionship in your life. For some of you, that is going to be connected to love relationships as well. But, I do feel as though for a lot of you, it's got to do with the success of friendships and relationships in your life in general. You've kind of become very secure in your little bubble. Because the past here, when I've asked for clarity, we have the mountain and the tower, which refers to, struggles and blockages and delays in the past, delays in the foundation, blockages in the foundation, challenges that you've faced in the past for a lot of you here. And that has led you to be, very stable in how you limit interaction. It's not necessarily to the point where you don't leave the house, where you don't have interactions and that sort of stuff. But what we're seeing is the choice to do that on a new kind of a level. We did see overcoming limitations here. And so, the need to overcome with the mountain and the tower here, it's the need to overcome these past, the way that you've established the foundation of, this is how I make friends, this is what friendships are all about, this is, this is what I rely on friends for, this is what I give friends in return, da da da. So it's like opening yourself up to new ways of being loyal and understanding towards friends, and new types of friendships. For some of you, it definitely is just very, very straightforward of getting out of the house and actually meeting friends and having friends. For those of you where you may feel as though you're a very introverted, homebody type person, that's definitely very straightforward for you to sort of understand that just meeting other people halfway and compromising by getting out and about and spending more time out in the community and, going to events and things like that is a big sort of step, a big change in the foundation just with that. But for those of you where that's not necessarily the case, and you are somebody who, you already have a foundation of being out and about and spending time, it's about doing that in a different kind of way, opening yourself up to, I feel for a lot of you, it's got to do with a lot more vulnerability being shared, a lot more of my little bubble of security, the things that make me feel safe and secure, getting outside the box a little bit and just doing things a little bit differently, meeting other people halfway with the way that they interact, and choosing to be a little bit more sociable in the way that other people are sociable rather than you yourself is sociable. So you may be somebody who finds it very, you found a level of comfortability, and it's about getting out of the comfort zone a little bit here, I think, and just reaching a higher level of connection and having a lot more success within your relationships, especially platonic relationships. So if you're somebody who, you have a group of friends and you're like, okay, I'm happy with that group of friends, that's my comfortable group of friends, this may be meeting a brand new friend and incorporating that energy in as well, to your existing energy, changing the foundation of for a lot of you, it's how you set up friendships and how you create loyalty and how you open up to people. Does seem to be part of the big thing here, is the way that we open up and connect to people just in general. For others of you, this is, making a solid choice to, mingle a little bit more, get to know new people, and especially community events is coming through strongly. Getting more involved in community events, that definitely is coming through. Especially too, I am picking up for some of you, it's to do with dating, rather than just platonic friendships, but wanting to create the basis, the foundation of a relationship before we turn it into that romantic relationship. It's about the way that we're meeting people. So for some of you, it may be things like group dates, or going to dating events like speed dating, or those sorts of things may actually be really good for you to sort of get you just to that next level of connection that you're kind of seeking here. But we'll move straight into the love portion, because I do feel for a lot of you, it is sort of connecting So for some of you, I do kind of feel straight away that the love portion may not necessarily show romantic love. It may just show an extension of platonic love, new ways to love, the people that are in your life. But, for others of you, it's going the opposite way, where this is all about love itself anyway. All right, so we'll have a look here. What's going on for Aquarius when it comes to love and romance? Love and romance messages for Aquarius. Let it rain. So that one says allowing what is, inevitability and trusting. So it's kind of like, allowing things to happen the way that others are pushing them to happen. Trusting that maybe I don't need to be the one that, sets the structure of how a friendship should be. Maybe I need to allow other people to set that structure a little bit more here, because I do just pick up for a lot of you this reserved kind of energy where, yes, you may have strong friendships, but are they as deep as they could be? Do you really open up and be completely honest and open and vulnerable within those connections, or are we just sort of just shy a layer on that sort of stuff? And it may, because it may not be the case that you are not that. It may just be doing that to another level with a specific person that you maybe haven't got that level of friendship with yet. So for some of you, it's very specific to maybe just one person. You may already be very vulnerable with others that you're friends with and whatnot. But this is about learning how to, level up other relationships around you. It's kind of inevitable. Trust. We also have the on call. Call. The cow call, however you say that, it refers to, a child that is born with the placenta over their face. So it's actually a very spiritual message here. Back, hundreds of years ago, it was believed, when a child was born with the placenta still over their face, that was, a very spiritual thing, that would be a healer or a very spiritual type person. There was a certain culture where those babies were taken away and trained to be priestesses, which is what this card is all about. Healer, seer, priestess, priest X, soul purpose. So it's got all the genders there for priestess. Okay, so different types of priestess dependent on gender. Your soul purpose. So your soul purpose is to, connect on a spiritual level. So for some of you, that's exactly what this opening up to friends is all about. Is actually, reaching that next level within those friendships on a spiritual level. On a spiritual level. For some of you, that may not be a big part of those relationships. That may not be something that you actually connect on as of yet. Maybe you haven't even talked about beliefs and religion and those sorts of things with those particular friendship groups. So it's kind of talking about getting out of your comfort zone and reaching a higher level within the connections and the relationships, and overcoming those limitations, overcoming your fears of what people might think about your beliefs and opinions as well. Love and romance for Aquarius. Love and romance for Aquarius. Yeah, because the past does seem to have a strong pull on you here. And, I dare say, especially when it comes to spirituality, there may have been some stuff in the past that we have the mice coming through first, that it kind of feels as though when you have opened up in the past to, especially when it has been to love interests, when you've opened up in regard to spirituality, religion, that sort of belief system stuff, that, you know, you've struggled with that, and there's been a lot of stress associated with that, and it feels as though, you know, somebody may have actually taken away from you your faith a little bit when it comes to like, because I'm just getting this energy of someone like ridiculing you for your beliefs. um and they're like, oh, Aquarius, you're just being crazy. No. So there is a strong past influence anyway. You know, it still stresses you out that, you know, things that have happened in the past may happen again. It seems to be a bit of a fear of um, being treated badly. It may not even be your past in this lifetime either, because I am picking up for someone here that it's kind of that energy of, you know, like years ago, you know, hundreds of years ago, I would have been burnt at the stake. Maybe hundreds of years ago, you were burnt at the stake, Aquarius, and for your beliefs. And so now you do have that reservation of fear for unknown reason to be open and honest about things that you believe, you know, and things that you have seen or heard or been involved with on your path of spirituality. So spirituality does seem to be a big topic for you when it comes to your love and romance life at the moment. You know, that is even on the bottom of the deck here. I've got the cross on the bottom of the deck in the hidden energy, talking about, you know, your destiny, your spirituality. We do, though, see the scythe followed by the clouds. All right, so there are some big, sudden sorts of changes coming through. It's like breaking free from that fear and the stress and the anxiety about, you know, where I worry and that fear. You know, it's kind of facing your fear type energy here. You know, overcoming that limitation, that thing that's been holding you back from being very honest about your thoughts. When it comes to, you know, the deeper layer of life within you yourself, the deeper layer of yourself. Okay, Aquarius, it's like, don't overthink it. These changes are happening for the right reasons. It's part of your purpose, your destiny, for these changes to take place, and to allow that past concern and stress to ebb away. You know, that it's not something that you need to hold on to. Allow it to drift away, and focus on the silver linings coming through with those clouds. That, you know, rather than overthinking that, allowing yourself to go, oh well, like, maybe this is an opportunity to think in a new way, to see from new perspectives and things like that. Just two more for Aquarius. Please focus on actual love and romance for Aquarius, please. See, we see you finalizing here. We have the flowers and then the house coming through there as well. So, you know, we're seeing you moving from the home energy. That was the very first card we had for you, and now it's the final energy as well. So, you know, this is all part of the journey, part of the process to, you know, change the things about your little comfort zone that aren't working for you, and, you know, developing yourself and finding a little bit more of yourself, you know, and opening up to love in a new kind of way. That the more that you're giving to this process, the more time, love, energy that you're putting out there, the more you're actually going to receive back in, and it's going to enable you to get back to that little comfort zone, but in a more whole kind of a way, and a, you know, where you're not feeling like there's that little door within you that's locked to you, because a lot of the time this house is like you yourself, right? And each little part of you is a different room in the house, and it's like, you know, you're coming from this house where there's a room that's closed off to you, and you don't know what's in there, whereas this is part of the journey of finding that within yourself, and connecting back to that. I do feel as though, you know, because I did ask for a little bit more specificity there with love and romance, that this is talking about, you know, the more time, love, energy that you're putting out into these sorts of pursuits and spending more time out and about in the community and with friends and creating new types of relationships with people, you are going to find a brand new type of stability. You are going to find that love that is home. Home is where the heart is. You are going to find that for yourself, regardless of whether it's within the connection you're already in and you're just embracing growth in that connection, or whether it's a brand new connection that you're finding yourself in. Speaking of, we'll get a message for you from your person, whether it be an existing person or someone that you haven't even met yet. For some of you, it may come through with past energy as well, especially since we do have a couple of past energies coming through for you there. Aquarius, message for Aquarius from their person, please. On the we've been together for lifetimes, so we're definitely seeing that past life energy coming back through here. So you have met this person in another life. I feel like for a lot of you, you may not have actually met this person yet in this lifetime, but our love will never cease to exist. Okay, so for those of you who are in a connection, this person is kind of just letting you know, look, I'm never going to stop loving you, no matter what happens. And even if that love changes in some way, it's not going to stop existing. It's still there. It goes beyond just this lifetime. But I do need to sort things out first before I come to you. So for those of you who are single and haven't met this person yet, they are just sort of sorting some ish out in their own life. I feel like for a lot of you, they're on their own little spiritual journey. Right, when we have twin flame stuff, and soulmate type energy, a lot of the time, we are on very, very similar paths in totally different ways. So if you're going through some healing and some growing, they probably are too. And for those of you who are in a connection, that person just needs to sort something out within themselves. So you may just be noticing a little bit of distance between yourself and that person emotionally at the moment. They just need to sort their head out, I feel, and then they will come back to you, because that love is not ceasing to exist. All right. So that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements. Leave a comment so you can go in the draw for that free personal reading, and I will see you all again soon.